to another episode of Music, Minimalism and Mental Health. No music today other than in the background, but I wanted to just give you 5 tips for this Monday of things that can maybe give your mental health a boost at the start of a new week. First one would be, have a think, are there any simple tasks, short tasks that you can tick off right now? We all know what it's like to have a kind of never-ending to-do list. But if you look, if you have a list, or if you're just kind of thinking in your head, oh, I've got this to do, maybe you need to contact someone you've not been in contact with for a while. Just drop them a quick email or a Facebook message or WhatsApp or whatever it is, and just say, sorry, I've not been in touch, been a bit busy, how are you doing? Or, whatever it is. Maybe you need to go and load the dishwasher and put it on, or I don't know, clean your shoes. Something that can take less than 5 minutes that you can get done right now, and that'll be one job that's done. And every little job that you do, every little task that you do, even if you've got a big kind of project that's going to weigh you down and is kind of in the background all the time, every little task that you do will just make that big project seem a little bit more easy. Now, I'm not going to say fill your entire week with little tasks so that your big project gets pushed out and you don't manage to get it done. But if you can spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes now, and then next time you take a break from your big project, if you're working on something, which you should be doing at least once an hour anyway, do another task for 5 minutes and then have a breather for 5 minutes and then get back to it and do 45 minutes of work or whatever it is. This kind of way of just ticking off little tasks can really it benefits your self-esteem, which overall will help your mental health as you go forward. It can be quite hard, I know, to motivate yourself to do these things, but just maybe just prioritize your list in terms of the amount of time that they'll take rather than the importance, because that's always open to debate, really, isn't it? Number 2, maybe something you can't do right away, but something you can definitely do this week, would be to get more sleep. Most of us, particularly in this crazy world we live in, which prioritizes productivity and busyness and all that nonsense, don't get enough sleep. If you are not getting it will vary from person to person, but I would say if you're not spending at least 7 hours in bed, you are not getting enough sleep. Some of us need a little more than that. So, try and go to bed half an hour earlier than you normally do. Even if that means that maybe you don't watch your favourite program, or you spend half an hour less on social media. Go to bed half an hour earlier so that you can get a little bit more sleep. Your mental health will thank you, your brain will thank you, your body will thank you, everything will feel more refreshed from getting a little bit more sleep. Now, it may be that you struggle with sleeping, and that's always a challenge. So maybe you need to think about your sleeping environment. Maybe it's too hot, maybe it's too cold. One of the things here in Romania is that people in the winter heat their houses up to crazy warm degree, to the point that their bedroom. I couldn't sleep in the bedroom of some people's houses. Our bedroom, very fortunately, is on the kind of northeast corner of the property, and we don't have the radiator on in there, so we keep it cool enough to be able to sleep. And then if you want to be warmer, you just put on a blanket or wear thicker pajamas or something. But it helps you to be in a slightly cool environment to sleep better. Maybe if you're in a noisy environment, something that provides constant noise. You can get apps that provide like the sound of rain or the sound of the wind or whatever it is, the waves. Something that can help to calm you and aid your sleep. But then number 3 might be something that, if those things don't work for you, or maybe you need things during the day, maybe some kind of supplement or dietary addition would benefit you. For me, in the winter, I take St. John's wort, which is Hypericium, I think, or something, technically. It's a small tablet I take once a day. It's a herbal supplement. and it just provides me a boost in the winter when I don't get enough sunlight, which we'll come on to later, and it just gives me a little bit of a kick. And then to help my sleep, then I will take another couple of herbal supplements. I take valerian root, and I take California poppy, which is Escolzia californica. Again, you can get these from health food shops, you can get them from Amazon, that's where I got them. And they don't always smell great. Valerian smells horrible. But for some people, and it may not work for everybody, it didn't work for my mum when she tried it, but for me, it just helps me to get into a sense of calm when I get to bed, and just soothes it and helps my sleep. I used to take them right before, like an hour before bed, and I actually found that didn't work as well, because certainly when I was taking the two, when I was just on valerian, that was okay. But I found that the two, it unsettled my stomach a bit. So now I take them a little bit earlier. I tend to take them sort of mid to late afternoon, and then then my digestive system has enough time to process. I then eat afterwards, and that works, and that's been really benefiting me for the last few weeks. I wouldn't ever push anyone down the kind of medicine route for depression unless they genuinely need it. I think sometimes doctors will prescribe antidepressants to people just because it's the easy option. I personally chose not to go down that route. Even when I was really struggling, I wanted to find a non-medical alternative, and these supplements, plus just regular vitamins and minerals, can really benefit you. But I'm not a medical professional, so if you have any doubts, consult someone who is. Number 4 is a little bit more kind of ethereal, I guess, in the sense that something that can really kind of ease your mind, is to forgive yourself and other people. There will be something weighing at the back of your mind that you regret and you can't forgive you haven't forgiven yourself for doing or for not doing. Maybe you said something stupid to someone and you damaged a relationship. Maybe you bought something that you really didn't need and now you regret it. That's certainly something that weighs heavy on me as I'm working towards a more sort of minimalist attitude. It's like I'm seeing things like, why did I buy all this stuff? I didn't need all this stuff, and now it's weighing on me and I don't know how to deal with it. But if you forgive yourself, that's the first step in making amends. If somebody has hurt you and has damaged a relationship and you feel really upset with that, forgive them. It may be that you can't recover the relationship, but if that's so, then that relationship was meant to pass. Not all relationships are forever, but at least forgive them, because there's no kind of sense on holding on to that weight of disappointment and guilt and everything else. All that's going to do is make your life harder. For years, I used to get upset with things that people said to me, maybe even when I was in high school. I didn't have the best high school experience, which maybe contributed to my mental health later on. But a lot of the issue was that I have a really good memory, and I used to remember stuff, and stuff kept coming back that people had said, maybe in passing, and they've probably forgotten all about it, and they may not have even meant it at the time, or they were just poking fun. But it weighed heavy, and until I got to the point of forgiving them for it, particularly if they're people I'm never going to see again, what's the point in not forgiving them when it'll just benefit you to do so? So forgive yourself and others. And the 5th one, probably the most powerful of all, is to get some fresh air, and preferably exercise. Even when it's a horrible, horrible day. Here in Bucharest this week, it's really cold, it's wet, the raindrops are freezing on the balcony and all that kind of thing. Just getting outside, getting fresh air, getting the wind blowing at you, even just for a few minutes if it's really cold, can really benefit you. It gets things moving a different way. Particularly, if you're sat at a desk and working and you've been there for a couple of hours, get up, go to an open window, or go and stand outside and just experience nature, or at least the outdoors, for a few minutes. Ideally, we want to be getting some exercise, and ideally some outdoor exercise every day. Again, I'm not a sports professional by any means or anything like that, but I try and get in a good 20 to 30 minutes walking outside a day. Now, I teach lessons, so I can go out and walk and teach, walk to my lessons and teach my students, and that kind of ticks that box. I've got a lesson later on, so I will be walking, and it's not an exciting walk, it's literally down the main road, but at least I'll be outside in the air and moving my body and breathing, and I can really focus on that. It also gets me a chance to get away from screens, which is fantastic, because it's all too easy to get sucked into this world of technology. But if we're not getting enough fresh air and enough exercise and enough water, really, because we need to make sure that we're also hydrated, then our mental health will really suffer. I can tell the day after I've not got any exercise and fresh air, because I feel sluggish. My brain just isn't quite on keel. And with my condition, my mood will go up and down anyway, but anything I can do to help it, to stop it from going too low, to give it a little bit of a boost, basically to kind of narrow the amplitude of the mood swings, is something that, this really works. In fact, all 5 of these things really work for me. So I hope this is helpful. I would encourage you to try these things. Tick off simple tasks. Get more sleep. Try some kind of supplement that may work for you. Forgive yourself and others. Get some fresh air and exercise. Hope that was useful, guys. Take care, and I'll see you next time.